So, ladies and gentlemen, your next bout of the evening. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Please welcome Burton.
So folks, this is FCC 9. You are here with Iron Jez Cook and my co-commentator Jamie the Haymaker Hay here for this featherweight bout between Burton and Danny Cullen. Let's talk about Burton on his way into the blue corner from 12 gauge. Jamie, break this down for us.
Right, this fight, Danny Cullen wanted on the card, and we had originally scheduled against Liam Burke. Now, Danny Cullen wanted on no matter what, and Stapes was really adamant he wanted him on this card, so he was trying, and Liam Burke stepped up to say, I'll take the fight. This is about 3 weeks back. That fight, about 2 weeks back. This fight then changed this week because Liam Burke's really ill at the minute, and has come down with a fever, so you know he can't fight, and that is rightfully so. His coach has pulled him. The first coach to ever ring me and say to me, I've got a problem, but I've also got a solution that's in one sentence. He said, Liam Burke, he's out, but Burton will fight him. And you know, that's what we need in this sport, Jez. We need people like that, coaches who really care about the shows and want to get you know, a fight on. I don't want to let Danny Cullen down, because Danny Cullen's trained very, very hard for this fight. And Burton stepped up. However, Burton was originally supposed to fight Ben Dearden.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. Please welcome Danny Cullen.
Yeah, huge respect to both Matt Thorpe and Martin Stapleton for making this fight happen. And you know, that's what we like to see. You know, we want to see good fights, but at the same time, you know, we want to see good matchups. And this is a good matchup for both guys, so it's great to see that, you know, a bit of awareness, a bit of thought from the coaches. And yeah, this is going to be an exciting match. I mean, Burton is a serious contender. You know, experienced fighter, great ground game. So it's a nice matchup with Danny Cullen. I think this really is an interesting, and you know, record-wise, both experienced fighters. Burton 4-1, Danny Cullen 5-2. But can you tell us a little bit more about Danny Cullen?
Absolutely, mate. Danny Cullen has come on leaps and bounds in the past couple of years. He has joined FCPC under Martin Stapleton, and this kid is one of the toughest kids I've seen. You know, I've seen him in the gym. He is absolutely relentless. He fights with the likes of Brent Turner, and you know, and stands with him and fights with him. You know, and we've seen Brent knock a world karate champion out earlier today. Now, I think Danny Cullen, you know, he's an up-and-coming star. He's 27-year-old, so he needs, you know, he's now trying to pace through as quick as he can. He's took probably 7 fights in the past couple of years. And the guy is a real entertaining fighter.
Both guys are, and you know, make no means about it. If this goes to the ground, which I kind of hope it does actually, because I think both guys are really experienced, and it's what I like to see is good experienced guys taking the ground and putting on a real demonstration. And this has the potential, but every fight starts on its feet.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll pass over now to Jonathan Millard, the voice of the Vale.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening, before there were 3-minute rounds under amateur mixed martial arts rules in the FCC. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the cage with a mixed martial arts record of 4 victories and 1 defeat. Representing 12 gauge MMA from Manchester, Burton. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the cage with a mixed martial arts record of 5 victories and 2 defeats. Representing FCPC from Rochdale, Danny Cullen. Our referee in charge of the action, Mr. Paul Crossley.
This amateur featherweight fight is brought to you by TSC Stores, with stores in Crewe, Manchester and Ashton-under-Lyne.
So, Burton in the black warrior shorts, Danny Cullen in the white shorts. Here we go.
Those famous words.
Oh, big knee there straight away, and he's caught a guillotine. Danny's caught in that guillotine pretty tight there, but he can pull his head out. There we go.
Yeah, weathered that early threat, but as well said, could be a really interesting battle between these two guys on the deck.
So let's see what he's going for the Kimura sweep there. You can see that he was looking for a Kimura from the bottom, but he's gone. You know what? These guys from 12 gauge, they love their hips, don't they? They love throwing them up, Jez. They
do, and he's done well. Look, you can see that hook he's got under that leg just gives him a bit of mobility. The only thing he can do is isolate it, and that's what he's seeing. He needs that as a bit of a defence. Can see the threat here, but
yeah, Danny Cullen's in top position now. You've got to be very careful with a guy like this, so with a very active guard. But you know, he's very confident. He's Danny Cullen from his wrestling, and he's obviously his ground and pound. We know that. I've seen it in the past, so that's what he's going to try and implement now.
But a good battle here, looking to cement some control. This fight looking like it. Thought for a second it could end up back on its feet, but yeah, just really an absolute battle. Just try and escape from this guard position. Carl Burton not willing to give anything away, and rightfully so. Danny Cullen's going to have to work for everything he gets tonight.
I totally agree there, Jez. I think he's looking for that. He's looking at that left leg sweep over there, so he can go for the arm. But the arm doesn't look like it's trapped. Now it does. Now it's looking trapped, but he's got it out. So great work there from Danny Cullen.
Yeah, shifts him over. Tried to take the back, not quite there, but. If he can pull that knee through, he might end up securing side control, which he's done now. Wants to try and get his hips nice and low, prevent Carl Burton from sneaking that knee through and retaining half guard. He's doing well here. You know, we've got to remember this is important in the fight. This could be decisive. These points, when you're getting this control, maintaining this position.
This actually was technically a catchweight bout. However, both actually made featherweight. So. It is a featherweight bout.
Well, credit to guys too, who, we talk about fight camps, and I think we talk about less now because actually the majority of guys don't really do fight camps. They just train non-stop. These guys are beasts. These two personify that completely.
And this is some good work from Danny Cullen from the top position, throwing some heavy shots down there. But Carl Burton doesn't look phased at the minute. He's just give his back up though. Now he's got to be very careful in this position, hasn't he, Jez?
Yeah, he has, but he's done well. Trying to roll over and end up in a guard position is not an easy thing to do, but time ticking by, final moments of this first round, and so far Danny Cullen the aggressor in that.
Yeah, totally agree. I think if I was the cornerman of Carl Burton, I'd want to be maybe keeping his standing a bit more. Although Carl Burton looked great from his back, he had a very active hips and whatnot, he didn't do enough to win the round. Now Danny Cullen must be very happy that round, Jez.
Yeah, I think he'll be very pleased. I think States will be very pleased. You can see there in the corner with Carl Burton, he's taken a bit of damage there. Some good ground and pound there from Danny Cullen in that opening round. That could he could look to pursue that, try and open up that cut just below the right eye of Carl Burton, but no, Danny Cullen's done everything he needed to in that first round and looked impressive on the ground. We talked about Carl Burton's pedigree on the deck. We knew it was going to be an exchange there, and yeah, certainly so far so good for Danny Cullen and FCPC.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I love about when two gyms like FCPC and 12 gauge collide, when they've got such good coaching trainers, there's always fireworks, and this fight is no different. Carl Burton being taken down a bit too easy there again though.
Yeah,
Danny Cullen working that round the corner takedown there.
Yeah, no, that was obviously looking to unload, try and test Danny Cullen out on the feet, but Cullen aware, gets a good takedown, and he is exactly where he wants to be. He's in guard, he's right by his corner. All these guys from FCPC, smart fighters, intelligent fighters. He's going to take the instructions and he's going to put them into practice.
Yeah, he is, and he is doing as well. But Burton is still working well off his back there, and you've got to be careful for an active guard, like we keep saying, mate. You really have to be very careful. And he's pushed him off there. Great stand up there from Carl Burton. Yeah,
great work there from Carl Burton to push his man away and get back on the feet. He's now pressing him up on the cage. Looking to get a couple of knees in there. Another left knee into the body of Danny Cullen.
Let's talk a little bit about the coaches, Jess. So we've got 12 gauge Matt Thorpe, who was M1 Global. Sorry, yeah, as you say that, he's got a really... it's like a neck crank now. Don't think he's got the leverage on that though, Jez.
No, he just let that go. It looked like it was deep. You know, smarter fight. He doesn't want to waste too much energy, but a good buck out there from Danny Cullen to get in a better position. He's now in half guard. He can try and regain a bit of a better position.
It's a very loose half guard that, but it worked because he stood up with him. So that's a great takedown.
Yeah. Great work there from Danny Cullen to just be, you know, in a dangerous position, possibly a submission attempt. Wasn't sure how tight it was, and now look where he is. You know, really great work there.
So go back to what we were saying then, Jez, about you know, the 12 gauge guys and Matt Thorpe. Matt Thorpe has fought in M1 Global. The guy's fought against some of the top guys in the world, including like the likes of Dan Hardy. You know, the guy has fought the top of the top, and I think he won that fight. But you know, he going up against Martin Stapleton, obviously, but in the UFC. He's a Bellator fighter at the minute, and it's great. It's great to have these guys on the show, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're seeing that coming out from the fighters. Look at Carl Burton there, picks his opponent up, slams him down, transitions really nice into a mount position, looking to put some ground and pound and really take control of this second round here at Full Contact Contender in this featherweight bout.
And he's got an arm triangle, but he's not got it. He's not got the leverage from where he's sat. He's got to be, you know, he's got to twist his hips out and walk round. But you know, Danny's defending this quite well at the minute.
Yeah, and you know what? One thing Carl Burton needs to be careful of. He doesn't want to waste too much energy and too much position. But we're drawing to the final moments in this second round. And where do you see, you know, as the clock counts down, Jamie? How do you see that second round going?
I think it's a round apiece. I'm going to go from a judge's perspective now, and I think they will call that a round apiece. Danny Cullen was, you know, dominant in the first round, very dominant with wrestling. He started the second round very dominant. However, Carl Burton's jiu-jitsu took over. He made, you know, a couple of transitions, and then he took the top position. So, and he worked it as well, and nearly caught the sub at the end.
I know exactly. This is exactly the position we want to be in the third round. Really, everything to play for. And yeah, I mean, tell me through your if you were the coach right now in Danny Cullen's position, where, you know, his roundup marginally lost that second round in our eyes anyway, what would you be saying to him right now?
Oh, you know, I know what Martin Staples will be saying. He want more of what he did in the first. He want that control in wrestling. He want to control the hips. You know, you take a jiu-jitsu guy down, you control his hips, you control his jiu-jitsu, and that's what I think he needs to do. However, is that an easy thing to do against someone like Carl Burton? No, it's not, mate.
No, absolutely not.
So, third and final round, here we go, Jez.
Nice high kick there by Danny Cullen. Snaps it up. It's good to see him try and mix it up, and then goes for that takedown. Doesn't quite catch it.
You know what? This is what we're saying though. He's trying to control the hips now. He's trying to hold on and control them hips. That's what he needs to do, Jez.
Yeah, and he did well. Didn't get that takedown first, but he pursued with it, held on to it, and he's now in a position where he wants to be to control this fight.
What I find quite funny is Carl Burton has had the chance a couple of times to sort of use the cage to walk up, but I think he's quite comfortable from his back. And that's why he's got these really strange transitions, and he's going for that Kimura sweep there. And he's got it. That's it. It's a beautiful little sweep, that.
Real nice roll. And he's got his opponent right where he wants to.
Such nice jiu-jitsu that we're seeing here tonight, Jez.
Yeah, we really are being treated, but certainly Burton unloading now, getting some really key ground and pound. Danny Cullen trying to buck and roll, throw his opponents off. He's trying to ride the cage, walk up that and use it as leverage. Almost there, and he has got it. Great cage awareness from Danny Cullen there.
That is absolutely fantastic work there. He used the cage to his position, but he's now caught in a Kimura. So he's got the Kimura sweep again. So that's another sweep there for Carl Burton. And he's in top position again.
We said this from the start. This could really prove to be a really amazing ground matchup, and it's living up to that expectation, living up to that bill.
It really is, Jez. And you know what? Carl Burton's now in the top position. He's going to start throwing some shots down, but he's controlling Cullen against the cage.
Cullen doing well. He's holding on to his opponent, looking to close that distance, then roll with him to secure a better position. He's off his back. He's right by the cage. It's not where he wants to be. Carl Burton.
Yeah, he's definitely controlling this fight now. He's throwing some shots down. Cullen is not liking this, and that's why he's rolling out. That is why you roll out from that position. But he's now got a hook in. He's now got kind of a body triangle, but not quite. He's got both hooks kind of in. He can now choke from it, and he's going for it as well.
Yeah, he slipped.
And he's going to go under the chin.
It's like he might finish this here. It looks quite tight. Don't know how long Danny Cullen's thinking to survive. That arm is sinking in now. I think that could be possibly it. He's looking to try and prevent the arm from sinking around across the head. Danny Cullen weathering this at the moment, but
he's got the 2-to-1 though. So he's gone 2 arms on 1, which is the exact thing that you need to do from that choke.
Yeah.
However, it's still very hard when your arms are gassed out in the 3rd round to keep hold of that. And you know what? Carl Burton's not letting this go.
No, and he's got those hooks in very well secured. His last 10 seconds of the fight, and he's got the tap. Great finish there by Carl Burton. He secured that position, got the hooks in, and was just so patient with the arm. We thought he had it. Danny Cullen did well to weather it, looked to prevent that take, but no, Carl Burton secures it and gets that finish by rear naked choke. And what a fantastic fight it was, and I think kind of like a fitting way to actually end that one.
I'll tell you what, Jez, that was one of them fights where, you know, no matter what happened in that fight, you're going to learn something from it, right? And they're amateur fighters. These 2 guys have just gone to war and had an absolute fight on the floor, a jiu-jitsu match up there with punches. That's what it was. It was a fantastic fight, that, Jez.
Yeah, it was. I would say, well, one way to describe that was a demonstration. It really was. You know, guys coming here wanting to fight at full contact contender. Look at this and see the way that these guys fought. Look at the sweeps, look at the exchanges, look at the ground and pound, look at the submission attempts. You know, absolutely everything you expect from a fight. And yeah, well deserved by Carl Burton.
Over to Jonathan Millard for the official results.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 54 seconds of the 3rd round, your winner by rear naked choke, Carl Burton. Let's hear as well for his opponent, Danny Cullen.
I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach. And I'm far from cheap, I smoke skunk with my peeps all day. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keep me pissy. Girls used to diss me, now they write letters cause they miss me. I never thought it could happen, this rapping stuff. I was too used to packing gats and stuff. Now honeys play me close like butter play toast. From the Mississippi down to